Hello and welcome to a particularly exciting episode. We're now going to take some honey off our hive, which is the fruits of our labours at the end of the season. Now our only problem is that super, which is full of honey, is also full of bees. So we've got to find some way of getting all the bees out of the super so that we can take it away and harvest our honey. And to do that, we need to use these. They're called porter bee escapes. If you remember when we looked at our crown board a while ago, we said we got these strange shaped holes in there. And they're to take these things, and these are called the bee escapes, the porter bee escapes. Now the way in which they work is we're going to put this underneath the super, and the bees can actually go in through this hole here, and if we have a look in detail, you can see here the bees can go out and down through there, down into the super, but they can't get back up. So we're going to put this on late afternoon, and then tomorrow morning, very first thing, before the bees start to get active, we're going to go back to the hive, and then we're going to hopefully take off an empty super, or empty of bees anyway, hopefully full of honey, so that we can harvest it nice and easily without causing the bees any distress. So what we'll do now, get our bee suits on, get the smoker lit, over to the hive, and get this clearer board put underneath the actual super. So here we are at the hive, and we're just going to put this crown board on. Now what you could do is use your crown board that's on the hive and just put the porter bee escapes on and move it underneath. But I've got a spare crown board and that makes life so much easier. So I'm going to begin as usual, just a tiny bit of smoke in the front. You'll notice we've got the entrance very small at the moment because we've got wasps around and it makes the bees much easier to defend. So we've put a tiny bit of smoke in there. Now what I can do is, as usual, just take the roof off. Here's my normal crown board. I could put my porter bee escapes in here and just take this off and put it underneath, but far easier just to take the whole super off. That's nice and heavy, and put it down there. Put my crown board on with the porter bee escapes in, making sure I get it the right way up so the bees can go down through there and down into the actual brood box, and put my super back on. Ooh, heavy, and line it up as usual. And what we can do, just to have a quick look, if I take this crown board off, you can see now in here there's a lot of bees in here. Now if I was to try and harvest that honey with all those bees in there, I'd have a real problem. So what I'm going to do is leave that on with the porter bee escapes on, cross my fingers, they should all go down, and then hopefully when I come to harvest this, it should be empty of bees. So there we go. Just pop my other crown board back on, roof on, and then we'll pop back tomorrow morning, very first thing before they've started flying properly, and hopefully we'll be able to take that super off and collect some honey. The plan is to have some honey for breakfast tomorrow morning. So keep your fingers crossed, and you never know your luck. So welcome back the following morning. It's now breakfast time and we need to see if our clearer boards has worked okay. No bees around, it's too early, but already the wasps have started attacking. It's a really bad year for wasps this time. So what I'm going to do is take the roof off, get that super off, and hopefully nearly all the bees will have gone downstairs and there won't be any bees in the super. So let's have a look. Okay, I want to do this fairly quickly because all these wasps are around, but roof off, and I left the old crown board on. So now you can see, if you come over here, actually I've got a few wasps, but I've hardly got any bees at all. You can see the wasps are getting it even as we're working on it. So I've got to get this super off really quickly now, just to stop those wasps. So I'm going to take that off really quickly. And what you can see is actually that the board came off with it, but there's the porter bee escapes that were on there, and you can see all the bees are down below there, no problem at all, absolutely great. So what I can do is just shake those bees off there in a minute and take my super away. So pop my super over there so I don't get any bees in it, because that would be embarrassing. Take all my bees off there. Pop my clearer board to one side, pop the old crown board back on, roof on, and now I can take my super away very quickly. Oh, this is heavy, and make sure the wasps don't get at it, and then we can go and have some breakfast. So we'll see you back in the kitchen for breakfast. So we're back in the kitchen now, and we really had to do that quickly because those wasps are around. We've got our honey and our toast ready for breakfast, but just before we actually start eating, we're not going to keep all of that honey for ourselves. That was the first year for that hive, and so once I've treated for Varroa, we're going to give about half of it back to the bees. But anyway, on to the most important thing of all. We've got some good hot toast here, which I'm going to butter, and none of this spinning the honey out stuff. We like our honey natural from the hive, so all I've got to do is spread my toast, take my honey, and take a lovely bit of honey there.
Sounds like the dog wants some
And
as well.
it does sound like the dog wants some as well, but she's not getting any. This is far too good for the likes of her. And so she might complain in the background, but that's the way it goes. There we go. Now, what better is that than that? There we have honey straight from the hive. That honey was taken off less than 10 minutes ago, and now I'm going to have my breakfast. And this is the result of a year's work. This is that hive you saw us putting in earlier in the year as a nucleus, and now we've actually got our honey to eat. So I hope you enjoyed your beekeeping as much as we've enjoyed ours, and now we're really going to enjoy our breakfast. And that is fantastic. You've got to leave me now to it. I just can't talk anymore.